Hi everyone, this is Rachel at StudioUs with another at-home drawing lesson for you guys. Today we're going to take out some colored pencils and try this drawing of a nice little dolphin. So go ahead and grab your supplies and we'll get started. To start out, we'll need a blank piece of paper as well as a drawing pencil, a Sharpie marker, and a large eraser to clear off all our pencil lines at the end. Alright, to start out, we're going to find about the middle of our paper, both vertically and horizontally. And I'm going to use that as a guide to start looking for how far in that shape goes. So coming in from the right side, how far in does it go, where does the other side land? And from there, I can eyeball where the bottom is, how far up it goes toward the top, and how far out it goes toward the left. So I'm giving myself a few guide dots to help out with the shape, to get this kind of curved, almost like a comma shape. I'll dot in a few more guides to make sure we're getting all of our curves just right, and then we can draw it in. Sketching lines and make sure we have nice smooth lines going all the way around. Alright, next we'll be adding in the nose, so I'm going to spot where it starts, how far out it goes, and where it ends. And from there we can sketch it in, so we'll get the bottom first. And then for the top it kind of curves around to make the mouth, so I'm going to give myself a guide for where I want my mouth to end. Just inside the curve of the face, and then get the top in. You can also add the fin on the back of the dolphin, the dorsal fin. And that's just a little curvy V shape coming off of his back. To get the eye, we can look right where it starts. So coming back from the top curve of the mouth, we can mark out our top and bottom. Sketch in a nice little oval, a little shine circle inside. We'll sketch in some of these bubbles as well. Notice they kind of go back and forth. They get a little bigger as we go up, and then a little smaller. And then we can sketch in the tail as well. The tail has a bunch of switchback curves, so they're kind of like S shapes along the top and the bottom, and then they join together in a curve. So it curves in, then back out. At the bottom it curves out, then back in, and wraps around to connect. Start on the side fins on the dolphin. These are called pectoral fins. So I'm going to mark out about where I see it starting, a little bit back from the eye. It comes inside the body and then goes out, make that tip for the curve. We can sketch in the dolphin's belly as well, bringing it all the way up to the corner of the mouth. Connects into that fin. And then we can get the other pectoral fin in the back. It's just a little curved V shape. A little bit of erasing to do to clear out the lines in the nose, in the pectoral fin, and along the back. So we'll just clear those lines out and draw back in any lines that we want to keep. that, we've got some little fishies. So I'm going to sketch out the body of the fish and then two little bumps, kind of like a sideways heart for the tail. Some of them are a little bigger, some of them are a little smaller. So we'll just do 3 little fish. And next we're going to add in the gills. So that's just a little curve up at the front, a top fin, and 2 bottom fins. These are super easy to just sketch right in. We're going to add in a little eye onto each one. And a tiny little scoop inside to give them a little pupil. And we're also going to sketch in the sand down at the bottom of our picture. We get a little mound to the left of the fish, and then it stays pretty flat going all the way to the right side. Alright, we've got some branches of seaweed to sketch in. So I like to look at where they come out of the sand. This one's coming out right at the top of our little mountain. And then we're just going to work up, putting branches going up on either side. They kind of extend out, curve up, and then tip back in. And we're going to do 3 branches on each side. Alright, that takes care of our first branch. We'll go ahead and get the next one. I noticed that it comes right out of the tail of the dolphin, down into our sand. And we'll just sketch up our branches. Coming up from the corner, tipping up, and curving back in. There we go. We're going to add some leaves to our first set of branches, and these just have a few little bumps going up either side. So you get a little bump, big middle bump, and another little bump wrapping around. We'll do the same on our other branch. Notice that these are a little bit longer, so I'm making my bumps longer, giving more space between each of them, just to make it look like this one might have been growing a little longer. And last step, we're going to erase the lines for the sand coming up through our seaweed. Sketch back any lines that we need to keep in there, and we're all set with our drawing. Go ahead and grab a Sharpie marker, and we're going to carefully trace over all our pencil lines. Make sure you get all those little details, and then we'll get started coloring. Finishing up the last few Sharpie lines, we'll grab our eraser, clear off all the pencil lines underneath the Sharpie, and then we can grab our colored pencils and get started with the coloring. So to start, I'm going to take a light blue, and I'm going to give myself a line about 1/3 of the way down from the top. I'm going to outline anything above that line that's touching the Sharpie line, and then fill it in with my pencil to get that little bubble going around. This one I'm coloring really lightly, And that's going to help me blend the colors together to get that gradient going down, so where it gets darker and darker as we work down. By coloring lightly, I'll be able to layer the colors over each other and get them to mix. Going around the edges on my bubbles. Once we've got our outline done, just work side to side, still coloring really lightly so we don't get any pencil streaks, and fill in the rest of that background. If you don't push down hard with a color pencil, you can keep coloring over the same spot and build it up to get more of a dark color without causing a bunch of pencil streaks or overlap marks with your pencil. So it's good to push lightly and just keep going over the same space to build it up. Sharpening up my pencil real quick. Always try to work with a sharp pencil. You don't want to sharpen it too much or else it'll get worn down really fast, but you don't want to be coloring with just a dull flat pencil. So I'll finish up that background. And then once I've got that filled in, right at the bottom of the blues, I'm going to give a light little dusting going underneath that line to kind of help me blend. So see how it gets really light? I'm just putting a little bit of light blue going down into our next color. So I'll use a medium turquoise, and in the middle third of my ocean, I'm going to mark out my bottom, get my little bubble around my edges, and outline anything that middle turquoise color should touch, and that center part of the ocean. So we're leaving the bottom white for now, so we can add a darker color at the bottom, getting our middle turquoisey color in. Really take your time to carefully outline around all the little seaweed bits and around the dolphin as well. And once I get up toward the blue, I'm going to start pushing less hard and blend it in. So I'm going to lightly go over a little bit of the blue, and then I can go in and fill the rest of the white spaces. And see how that creates a really smooth transition between the two colors? That's what we're looking for with blending those two colors. So go lightly with your light blue, and go lightly with your turquoise and color just a little bit over the light blue, and you'll be all set. We'll fill in all the way down to our bottom mark. Remember, still push lightly with this one, even if you want to build it up darker. Don't push hard with your colored pencils. We'll get the other side going around our edges first. Blending up into that blue once we get up to the top, and then filling it in. As we get back up to the top, we're just going to push lighter and lighter to blend it into that light blue. Same as I did with the blue, I'm going to fuzz out some of that turquoise a bit, and then go in with my dark blue, outline anything left that's touching my ocean, and then fill in the space. And just like with the other colors, when I get up where they're touching, I'll go lighter and just blend them together a little bit. Getting all those little details. Hear a weird scratching sound in the background. That's just my cat destroying all of my stuff. It's his favorite thing to do. Alright, finishing up the last little spot of dark blue. We've got a great ocean going so far. We're going to take a tan and very, very lightly I'm going to outline the tops of the sand. So if you look at our reference picture to the right, you can see the top of the sand is very, very light, and then it gets darker. So I'm going to put the lightest edge up along that top edge, and then using the same color tan, but pushing down a little bit harder, not super hard, but just a little bit, I can build up that color darker and get that middle color of tan. So we have a highlight and our main color, just using one colored pencil. Fill in the rest of that bottom using more pressure with our tan. It's looking good. To get our shadows, I'm going to use a medium brown and just very lightly, wherever I see it going a little darker, add a little bit more brown on top of the medium color tan for our sand. So that sets up our highlight with the light tan, our main color with the tan where we put more pressure, and a shadow with a brown. Take a light green and go ahead and color all of the branches for our seaweed. To build up some shadows, we'll take a medium green and just going along the bottom edges of each branch or along the left side going down the center part of the stem, we'll add in our shadows. Just leaving the littlest bit of highlight of that light green showing. Alright, to finish things out, we'll grab our very dark green. This is a pine green colored pencil. Just get little bits of very dark shadows going along the bottoms of the branches and down the left side. Next, we'll take a pink and go ahead and color in all of the little leafy bits on our seaweed. Pink on there, we're going to take a raspberry color and leaving just a little bit of the lighter pink on the tips of all of those bumps. And that'll just fill in the center of each of those leaves. Alright, with our seaweed done, we can go ahead and move on to our fish. So I'm going to take a gold yellow and get just the lightest little highlight on the backs and tops of the fins. Then go in with a yellow orange and fill in the rest of the body. After that, we can take a red orange and get a little shadow along the bottom of each fish's body. Go ahead and get out our black and just color in all of the fins, the little dots in the eyes, and the black portion of the dolphin's eye. Next, I'll take our tan color again and very, very lightly fuzz it on the belly of the dolphin and create that lighter underside. Moving on to the body of the dolphin, we'll take the gray and very, very lightly to apply it to the highlights. So look for those lightest parts on the dolphin's body. light as possible. Just color in those very, very light highlights. Using the same gray, we're going to apply a darker layer anywhere where we have that main color of gray on the body. So again, using a little bit more pressure, careful not to go over our lighter highlights, and building up that dark even more to get that kind of dark gray for the body tone for the dolphin. You can see I'm very carefully working around my highlights to make sure I don't get those. Really take your time, make sure your pencil stays sharp, and fill in the rest of the center of that body. And we'll move on to our shadows. Alright, we'll go ahead and grab a black colored pencil again. Very, very lightly, we're just going to lay it over the gray to build up a little bit more darkness in the shadow areas. So these are mostly on the fins and on the tail. Good to go. We've got to finish up those bubbles and we'll be set. So I'm going to use my middle turquoise color, so the color we used for the middle of the ocean. I'm going to mark out a little highlight on each bubble and then fill the rest in nice and dark so we get good coverage with that color. So you can see I've left out a little shiny bit and filled the rest in. Then we'll take our dark blue and get the shadows. And that'll do it for this dolphin. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.